Hello, Psychology 201 students. This is your lab instructor, Natasha. Welcome to today's tutorial, An Introduction to RStudio. First, I'd like to orient you to the panes of RStudio. When you open RStudio, you will notice 4 different panes in the application. The upper left window or pane is called Script, and this is where you will write your code. Right now, you'll see some information because it's pre-populated with a practice data set when you open RStudio. The console is below the script pane in the lower left. This is where your code is evaluated by R. You can test codes here, but not save them. The upper right pane is called the environment, and this contains information about all of your data. Finally, the lower right pane is called plots, and graphs can appear here. So let's start exploring the console. You can type in here anything with a hashtag. So let's take some notes. Anything that you enter after the hashtag symbol will be ignored by R until you start a new line. So if you wanted to write any notes as you're working with R, you can use the hashtag symbol first. So R does use various instructions that are often grouped together in packages. To use a package, you need to first install it. Please know that the computers that you will be using in the statistics lab will likely have all the packages installed that you need. So I'm not going to spend time installing packages in this tutorial, but please know if you do need to install packages, I will be happy to walk you through that. So now that we have a brief overview of what RStudio looks like, let's learn how to do some basic descriptive statistics. First, we're going to learn how to tell R what label we're assigning to different values in order to teach you some basic math. So let's start with just 2 values. Let's say we want to tell R that A equals 4 and B equals 16. So again, we'll go down to this console window and we'll write some code. We'll write the letter A and then create an arrow using these 2 symbols. And then we'll tell it that it is going to be 4. Then we'll hit enter. So now you'll see up in the new environment window, there's a new section called values. And here we see that the computer knows that A is going to be 4. And again, if we wanted B to be 16, we'll put B and then the same symbol, creating this arrow to tell it that 16 goes into B. And we'll hit enter. Now again, in this values area inside the environment, we see that B is 16. So let's show you some basic math functions. So we can add, we can say A plus B, hit enter, and then on the next line, R will tell us that A plus B is 20, which obviously we know from these simple numbers. But again, this is just to teach you what symbols to use. We can also subtract, so we can say B minus A and hit enter, which is 12. We can multiply using the asterisk or star symbol. We can divide by using this symbol. We can also take the square root by typing SQRT and then parentheses putting whichever value you want. So in this case, let's take the square root of 16 by entering B. And we can also do exponents. So these are just some basic math functions that you can do. But let's say now we want to work with an actual data set. So we're going to go into the environment window where it says import data set. And we'll pull down, I created a data set in an Excel file for the purposes of this tutorial. So I'll click from Excel, and then we'll browse to find the file. And I created on the desktop this RStudio tutorial data. So I'll click import now. And we'll see that in the environment, it now shows that the RStudio tutorial data is imported. And now in this section, you'll see it looks almost like the Excel spreadsheet where there's rows and columns. In this example, again, it's fabricated data, but I asked 20 statistics students how many times they FaceTimed their family the first week that they were on campus. So the first variable, participant ID, is just their ID number. And then the FaceTime count is how many times they said that they FaceTimed their family that first weekend. So we can use RStudio to run some basic descriptives. So let's say we want to find the mean number of times that these students FaceTime their families. We can type in, again in the console section, type in mean, And then we'll need to let the computer know both which data set and which variable we're interested in. So we can start typing the name of the data set, and we'll see that now we can just look at it right here. So it's the RStudio tutorial data, then we need to use the $sign. And then these are the two variables that are included in that data set. We're going to use FaceTime count. Then we can hit enter. And it tells us that the mean number of times that these students FaceTime their families was 3.5. Let's say we wanted to find the standard deviation. The code for that is just SD. Every time we do one of these functions, we have to again let the computer know which data set and which variable we're interested in. So we'll have to type in again the name of the data set, the $symbol, and the variable we're interested in, and hit enter. This gives us the standard deviation. Now this takes a little bit of time to write the data set and variable each time. So if we're interested in just information about this FaceTime count variable, we can copy and paste this code after every function. So let's say we just hit Control-C to copy it. And now let's say we want to find the minimum. We could type in MIN and then Control-V and enter. That gives us the minimum number of times that people in this data set FaceTime their family. We can do the max by typing MAX and again Control-V and enter. The maximum number of times was 15. We can find the median by typing the word median. Again, Control-V and enter. And it tells us the median number of times is 2. So it can be time consuming to enter each one of these different analyses we want to run. So we can also use a command called summary. So if you type in summary, and again, we want the summary just of the descriptive statistics for the variable FaceTime count, Control-V. And this gives us all the information that we asked for individually up here. So we have the minimum and maximum, the median and mean. It also gives us the first and third quartile. So as you can see, with some basic codes, you can easily run descriptive statistics using RStudio. So that's it for today. And next time we use RStudio, we'll be learning how to run slightly more involved analyses. And until next time, remember, don't be mean, be above average.